Well, students, today we are going to glaze your clay suns, and the first thing that I would like to show you is what colors we have. These are all going to change quite a lot. So let's start here on the right. This one that looks like a really light purplish pink will really be blue, like this one. This one here that looks kind of brownish will really be this orange color. It's called, I think it's called Old Brick. So it has a brick orange red color to it. We will have this, it looks like pink. It's not, it's really clear. Changes it from this to this clear shiny glaze. And then we have this one that looks kind of reddish, but it's really this. It's like, I don't know, I would call it kind of like a dark purple, but if you look carefully, there's these little gold sparkles in it too, which is kind of cool. So those are the four colors we have. I'm gonna go with this brick, this orange color. So you'll only have one glazed cup at your table, so that's why I'm gonna move this one over. And then I would like you to hold it in your hand. The first thing I would like you to do is hold your brush like a pencil. Try not to get glaze all over the metal part of the brush. And the reason that I'm holding it like this is so I can kind of lean it a little bit and get the glaze to go right around these edges without getting glaze on the back or on the bottom of my sculpture. So hold it, kind of rotate it, get as close to the bottom as you can. Continue to turn it, working your way around. I'm always kind of leaning it, so if it drips that way, and then it won't drip onto the back of my sculpture. Continue to turn it, hold on to it carefully so you don't drop it. Just brush it just a little bit, and then dip your brush back in. Once you get back to where you started, which I probably have just probably about 3/4 of the way. Once we get to where we started and I've gone all the way around, then I will glaze the top of my sculpture. So here, got all the way around it. Now that I have gotten all the way around it, I'll hold it like this, and if you can't get it to go into a spot, drip it in there. It's good to kind of lean it and let gravity kind of pull some of the glaze down into those designs and textures, especially like this dotted design and texture. Just be careful if it drips that you catch the drip before it drips onto the back of your sculpture. We're gonna keep going, turn it a little bit, get in by the nose, drip it into those designs and textures as well. I'm gonna keep going, get this half done. And one of the reasons that I ask you to keep it in your hand is so that you can look at it from all three dimensions to make sure that you don't miss any spots, because if I'm not holding it, I could miss that spot right here by the eye, or I might not get behind some of these shapes and pieces. I'm going to continue to keep my thumb right here. I'm going to glaze that part at the very end. That's probably the one time that I'm going to set it on the table so I can glaze that spot, and I'm going to do my best not to get glaze all over my hands. So we'll continue to turn it, glaze this part. Turn it around. And I'm just gonna check, yep, I missed this spot right by the eye. That spot needs to be done, that needs to be done there. Let's follow this line here by the mouth. Let's drip it in here. Now since my hand is holding it right on these spots, I'm gonna set it down to do the mouth. One thing I'm thinking, if I set it down, and make sure it's in a clean spot, set it down carefully, and then if I glaze this, I'm just gonna drip that glaze right into those designs. but I don't want to set it down when I'm glazing things that are close to the edge because it could easily drip down onto the table and then get onto the back of my sculpture. Now once it's dry, so we're going to let it dry. I don't want to keep brushing it while it's wet because then it sometimes wipes the glaze off. Once it's dry, we'll just pretend like with this one. So if it were dry, I would pick it up, I would glaze around the edge again, do the whole thing, glaze the top, let it dry. Once it's dry, then do it a third time, please. And then at the very end, if you ever need to set your brush down, wipe it off, but make sure your brush goes on the table. Don't lean your brush on the cup, it could spill the cup. At the very end, this is still wet, so I'm not gonna pick it up yet. If there is any glaze that is on the back of your sculpture, I would like you to take the towel, and if it is got a little bit on there, just wipe it off and make sure the back of your sculpture is nice and clean like this. Okay? So let's be careful so we don't break anything, and let's do a great job getting 3 coats of glaze on, letting it dry in between coats.